As parents, we have a duty to care for our kids. It goes beyond putting a roof over their heads and making sure they're fed. Raising children to make good decisions is the most important job of a parent, and it often begins with a simple conversation, even when the topic is uncomfortable. Talk to your kids about things like vaping, drug use, and addiction, because if you don't, someone else will.
I'm a mom of 4 and a wife, and I'm in recovery 7 years.
I am a husband. I'm active, I'm always busy, I'm always doing things. I would say about 3 years ago, it really hit me. I was gambling online, I was in poker tournaments every Saturday, and I was really trying to replace that adrenaline from using drugs to, and gambling gives the same effects. So it hit the money. I started young, at a young age, learning how to play cards, learning how to read people. It's really a rush. You get it from head to toe, a euphoria of like you just took a hit of dope. It's the same effect, and that effect is what grabs you, and you will keep trying to find that same, to get that same rush, no matter how much or how long it takes.
He was go big or go home, and I was more like, I'm gonna try that, and then, of course he taught me what to do and all the things, and I just went along with it, but I realized that it was a problem when we couldn't pay our bills because we were betting all of our bill money.
Until I laid my head down to sleep, I was either reading and placing, bets here and there to wake up to either a win or a loss, and it was very mentally exhausting, emotionally, and physically exhausting as well. Looking back on it, I thought I was making money and learning at the same time. As addicts, we make up these little tales that we tell ourselves, what we're doing, it's okay because I'm putting the money back in the account one way or another, it's getting back in there. But that wasn't the case at all.
In our home, there was a lot of tension. I had a short fuse, especially when, money came into the conversation. I would bet and think I'm going to recover my losses or, make out better than before, and everything would be okay. All of my money issues would be fine, and that fueled that addiction for a few months.
That $1,200 or that $3,000 would be nice, and we could pay our bills up. But when we did win, I was betting it again.
So it was exhausting, just the wave of emotions and the adrenaline, and then the drop of adrenaline, and
the anger that comes out of losing.
Yeah,
it's
a lot of arguments over that.
Our son is really good with numbers and statistics, especially sports statistics. I guess he got it from us. But we got him into betting as well, and
in the football pool.
In the football pool,
yeah.
and NFL pool. And he would, he started putting up his own money, working for his own money. His allowance, and putting that up at the end, in the week to bet. And we let it go on for a little while, maybe a season. By the 14th, 15th game, he had done bet probably $1,000 of his allowance into this pool, and he came close to winning. He put his money in. He was second
He was so sure he was going to win.
Yeah, and
so sure.
And when he had lost, we had seen this anger and this sense of defeat and
blaming us.
Yeah, I preached to him about not doing drugs. Drugs are bad. You know, I'm in recovery from addiction, so don't do that. But we're betting. You know, and that's devastating. And to see him crying and you know, just overwhelmed with defeat that he had lost, and it was arguing. It was a lot of blame, a lot of shame, a lot of hurt. And after that, we had to look in the mirror and be like, look, something's going on. We got to change something.
Like our kids wanted to get yearbooks, and a yearbook times 4 kind of adds up, and I couldn't give them money for their yearbooks, and that was kind of, you know, as a mom, to not even have the cash to give them for their yearbooks was depressing. And it is so normalized, gambling was so normalized in our lives that I didn't see it as a problem until that, you know, a few major things happened, and then I knew that I had to also teach him and his 3 sisters about, you know, the challenges and you know, signs of gambling addiction as well. Having large amounts of money, if a 13-year-old kid like my son had, you know, $500 and they can't work and don't have a job, then, you know, that might need to be investigated further.
If a child didn't have interest in sports before, or cards, or anything, you know, slots, anything to do with gambling, and it's out of character for your child, and there's no one that knows your child better than you. Yeah. So I would look for those indicators. I would definitely reach out for help. You know, being a male and being older and having a family, you know, I didn't want to say that I needed help for gambling until it was too late. And I would tell somebody that, you know, if you're about to lose your family or your bank account, you're filing for bankruptcy, or, you know, just reach out and ask for help.
Blue Ridge PBS and PBS Appalachia are proud to partner with the Virginia Department of Education to create and share resources to help parents understand some of the dangers and risks affecting their kids. If you or someone you love needs help, visit the Virginia Council on Problem Gaming's website at vcpg.net.